stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014. There's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Hall to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The Jets had 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they were looking good until last week's loss took him from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Wilson. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. The first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. All again on 2nd down. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Well, they were advancing the ball. They had a couple first downs under their belt, but a big mistake there on the opening drive leads to 6 points the other direction.
And what a good read that was on his part, Brandon, because it prevents a possible scoring drive with how they were moving things along. And it gives the defense the early advantage. Was going to be a definitely entertaining battle between these units.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Pretty fortunate there, the interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him to question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On 2nd and 10, Wilson. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. Gets past one man. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back to Taylor on 1st down. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line. want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing is Hurts. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
They had a chance there to really build a nice early lead, go up a couple of scores, but he doesn't hit that one quite right, and it winds up an empty possession.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism.
Ball has it knocked loose. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. They're already trailing here in this first quarter. Last thing they needed was to cough the football. Well, they coughed it up, but luckily for them, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, still a long way to go. But when you're losing, every possession takes on a little bit more importance, doesn't it? And in that case, they almost made this game a lot more difficult for themselves by turning it over. Fortunate there.
The fumble on 1st down now. Here's 2nd down. Throwing is Wilson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Hurts. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To the right side, this is Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Second down, another run with Taylor. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And that is no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Hines now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We've got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Finding Knox there, complete. So the completion gets him just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
There'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Check man, check man. Head the street, head the street. Go.
Hurts. He'll check this down to Hines. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Hurts throw here taken in by Knox. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
51 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Hurts sets up to throw it. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Schwartz. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Moving like these. Check contact, check contact.
Hurts fumbles it, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether it's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson. Open man is Denzel Mims. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and very short. Wilson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Pittman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taken from about the 12. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. He'll air this one out for Mims. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Taken from about the 12. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Okay, ready?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And a very similar result again. The Jets defense once more stopping him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Play action. Now Wilson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Third and long. It's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
On 2nd and 7, Hurts. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
19 tight.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on second down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
Ball again on second down. And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Second and 11 now. On second down, a run with Hall. And he'll have a Jets first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. They get the USC man, Elijah Vera Tucker. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Moore, the man in motion. On second down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Now, a quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the draw, it's Hall. Bulldozes past him. 91 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. On first down, right back to Hall. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to get the football here at their own 23. They'll still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Down the right sideline, finding space at the 40, inside the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Dawson Knox, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
On third down, here's Hall. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up fourth down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll go for it. It's Hall. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and run for it. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on fourth down. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Come on.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Ready.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 61 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Taylor. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Santos' kick is up and through. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Taken from about the 12. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 of the 24. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Play action. It's Wilson. Out to his left. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position.
Ready?
First and 10, Taylor now. 66 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Ready.
And they will take a knee here. The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.